The name of the movie is The Old Guardian. This is the story of such soldiers who have been living on Earth for thousands of years, who have protected humans by fighting countless battles. But no one knows how these people are still alive after so many years. In their team, there is Andy and Ramesh of Scythia, Booker, Nikki, and Joe. Andy is the oldest in age and is their team leader. One day, Booker and Andy meet a former agent who plans a rescue mission with them. Actually, a terrorist has attacked a school, killed all the teachers there, and taken 17 students captive with him. According to sources, their current location is in South Sudan. Since it was a question of saving small children, Andy decides to carry out this mission and reaches the location with her team of 4 people. After several hours of traveling on foot, these 4 people reach the terrorists' hideout and kill several militants stationed there. Then, outside a room, Andy sees some children's shoes, leading everyone to believe the girls are inside that room. After that, they break the door and enter the room, but the room is completely empty. But suddenly, some soldiers appear in front of them, who fire indiscriminately and kill them all. When these soldiers are about to leave, a miracle happens. Andy and her team's wounds suddenly start healing, and they come back to life somehow. Before those soldiers can process this, these people attack them like demons and kill the entire squad within minutes. Then, inside the room, Andy finds a hidden camera. Seeing it, Andy realizes that someone was watching this entire incident on their monitor. These people are very troubled by this incident because now their truth will be revealed to the whole world. So, Andy decides that they will find and kill the CIA agent so that their secret remains a secret. Meanwhile, in Afghanistan, an army team is shown conducting a search operation to find a very dangerous terrorist. Then, a soldier named Niall goes inside a house for inspection. During the interrogation, she finds out that the terrorist is hiding inside the same house, after which an encounter starts between them. She kills the terrorist, but during this, the terrorist attacks with a knife and cuts Niall's throat. Niall falls unconscious to the ground. Meanwhile, the 4 gods traveling on a train have a shared dream of Niall, who is still alive after having her throat cut. Niall also sees these gods in her dream. This means that Soldier Girl is also one of them. Niall is also immortal like them. Andy says that this has happened after 200 years that they have found a new companion. After this, Andy decides that Andy will go to Afghanistan to get her. Joe prepares a sketch of the girl and gives it to Andy. Taking it, Andy jumps off the moving train. Meanwhile, Niall and her colleagues are surprised why there is no mark of the injury on her neck because everyone thought Niall's survival was a miracle. Before Niall can understand anything, an officer informs her that she is being sent to Germany for further testing. Although Niall is very troubled by this, she has no answers to these questions. Meanwhile, the CIA agent Copley is shown meeting the owner of a pharmaceutical company, Merrick, on whose orders he had recorded that video. After seeing this video, Copley is very surprised. He tells Copley to bring these 4 people to him so that he can research them and learn the secret of their immortality. Meanwhile, Andy reaches the military base. Before they can send Niall to Germany for research, Andy reaches there and rescues Niall, knocks her out, and takes her with her. But when Niall regains consciousness, she jumps off the moving car and starts running away. But then Andy hits her from behind, and Niall falls to the ground. However, after some time, her body starts recovering, and she comes back to life. Now Niall doesn't understand what is happening to her, and in panic, she stabs Andy with a knife. But Andy has brought her to an airstrip where a group of smugglers is going to Paris with a drug supply. Actually, Andy's 3 companions are also waiting for her there. As soon as the plane takes off, Andy falls asleep due to heavy drinking. Niall takes advantage of this, ties her hand, takes the pilot at gunpoint, and asks him to land the plane. But in front of Andy, Niall was just a young girl. Andy attacks her, and a fight starts between them. Niall fights with all her might, but Andy easily defeats her. Although Andy didn't want to fight with Niall, she had to do this to convince her. When Niall sees her wounds healing, she also becomes convinced that she is one of them. After a few hours of travel, these people reach their safe house in Paris. Here, Andy introduces Niall to all her friends. Niall asks why she saw them in her dream. Nikki explains that it happened so that they could find her. Actually, Booker was our last companion who joined us in 1812. Now, countless questions are running through Niall's mind. She asks Andy, "What is your age?" Andy says, "Probably several thousand years." Hearing this, Niall is shocked and asks again, "Are we immortal?" Andy says, "It's not like that. When the time comes, we will also die." The same thing happened with one of their warrior companions whose wound from a battle stopped healing, leading to her death. But it is very difficult to tell when their final time will come. When everyone goes to sleep, Niall has a big dream. In her dream, she sees a woman locked in an iron coffin, lying at the bottom of the sea, who repeatedly dies and comes back to life. Hearing this, it's as if a snake has bitten these four gods. Nikki says her name was Quinn, who has been locked in that coffin for the last 500 years. Actually, she is one of us, and she was the first companion Andy found. After that, they stayed together and fought thousands of battles. At one time, they were in England, rescuing people who were accused of witchcraft. But later, accusations of witchcraft were also leveled against Andy and Quinn, and they were both thrown into the sea in an iron coffin. When both didn't die, the people locked Quinn in an iron coffin and threw her into the sea. However, Andy managed to escape from there. After that, they tried to find her for a long time, but finding her in such a vast ocean was an extremely difficult task, for which Andy has been blaming herself. At night, while Andy is searching for them, Merrick's men arrive there, severely injure Booker, and take Nikki and Joe with them. Booker's wounds slowly start healing, but Copley's men, searching for them, enter the house again. But this time, Andy is ready to teach them a lesson. Andy badly wounds them with her sword and single-handedly kills all the soldiers who had come to attack them. Copley is also watching all this, and when he feels danger, he puts Nikki and Joe on a plane and takes them with him. Meanwhile, Andy and Booker set out to find their companions. They reach their old safe house, which is a very old mine. Actually, in 1150, it used to be Andy's home, but then Andy sees that the wound on her shoulder hasn't healed yet, and seeing this, she becomes very troubled. Without telling Booker, she reaches a supermarket. The woman in the store understands and helps her, cleaning her wound and bandaging it. This means Andy has become a normal human because her wounds have stopped healing. She remembers her companion Quinn, who was the last to die. Meanwhile, Copley takes Nikki and Joe to Merrick, who is very excited to research them. He conducts several tests and attacks Nikki. When his wounds start healing, he is very surprised. Then he takes them inside a lab where the doctors start collecting samples from their bodies. Merrick says he will research their genetic code and provide all of humanity with a life where they can live for thousands of years. And until he is successful in this task, he will not free them. Meanwhile, Andy and Booker get Copley's address, which is in London. After that, they reach that location, but Niall refuses to help Andy. Actually, Niall wants to live with her family. Seeing this, Andy tells her to leave from there. After this, Andy and Booker enter the house. Meanwhile, Niall takes the car and leaves from there. Then she checks the gun that Andy had given her, and when she sees that it is empty, she becomes suspicious of Booker. When Andy and Booker enter the house, they confront Copley. Andy takes him at gunpoint and asks about Nikki and Joe, but then Booker shoots Andy from behind. Andy asks him why he did this. Booker says he wants to help Merrick in this research. Booker says if Merrick learns the secret of our immortality, we will also know about our death. But Booker was unaware that Andy is no longer immortal, and blood is still flowing from her wound because her healing has stopped. When he realizes this, he regrets his actions. But then Merrick arrives there with his men, who knock them unconscious and take them with him. They are also brought to the same lab where Nikki and Joe are. Nikki and Joe treat the doctor present there and rescue her. Meanwhile, Niall changes her plane and returns. She confronts Copley and asks about her companions. Copley tells her that Merrick and his men have taken them to his island for research. He says Merrick is only interested in the formula for their immortality and doesn't care about Andy's well-being. He shows Niall his research on Andy, which has saved countless lives in this world. Niall asks, then why did you do this to them? Copley says his wife died of cancer, so he knows the pain of losing loved ones. And now he wants Merrick to make a medicine from their genetics that can cure every disease and save people's lives. He agrees to help Niall rescue Andy. After this, both of them reach the company's headquarters, where Copley helps Niall get entry. Then Niall confronts 3 soldiers who shoot her as soon as they see her. They think Niall is dead, but she kills all 3 of them. Soon, the other guards also find out about this, and firing starts between them. But Niall, avoiding them, reaches inside the lab and frees all her companions. After this, these 5 people move forward to teach Merrick a lesson. They encounter the guards present there, whom they easily kill and take their weapons. However, during this, Andy is suffering a lot of pain. Then a big explosion occurs there, in which these people are badly injured and are surrounded from all sides. But Andy doesn't give up and attacks them with an axe. Then she confronts a well-trained soldier and easily defeats him too. She asks him about Merrick's whereabouts. He tells her that Merrick is hiding in the penthouse with some guards. Then Nikki arrives there and guns them down, killing all of Merrick's guards one by one. but Merrick somehow escapes from there. To catch him, the three gods go downstairs. However, Andy is in a lot of pain, so Niall stays with her. Then Merrick arrives there and points a gun at Andy, threatening to kill her. Before he can attack, Niall takes him and jumps down from the building, in which Merrick dies. A few days later, Niall fully recovers. Finally, after completing their mission, these people reach their secret hideout, where everyone together decides that Booker has betrayed his team, so he will have to live alone for the next 100 years. And when 100 years are completed, they will meet at this same place. Although everyone is sad about leaving their companion alone, they have no other choice. Now these people go to Copley's house and, seeing the research done on them, remember their old days. Andy tells Copley that from today, he will help them fulfill every mission and find missions for them that will be for human welfare. Meanwhile, Booker is shown, who has started drinking alcohol to cope with his loneliness. One day when he comes home, he sees his door is open. As soon as he enters the house, he sees Quinn standing in front of him, who has been freed from the coffin buried in the sea. And with this, the story ends here. I will explain its second part tomorrow. So please subscribe. See you in the next video.